Hello there, today we are going to take a look at yet another NFT project. As you might have already guessed, this will be a project about a car racing game. To be specific, the first skill-based combat racing game on the XRP blockchain, which is a blockchain that you don't see that often in the NFT space. And to get this started, there are two important things I need to mention. First of all, this is no financial advice, which means that if you lose money on a project in the past, present or future I showed you on my YouTube channel, it's on you and not on me. And the second important thing I want to show you is the fact that you can already reserve your whitelist spot for Scarspeed if you want to. And the only thing you gotta do to claim a whitelist spot is to go on their website and click reserve a whitelist spot. And what you then need to do is to pay $15 to reserve your whitelist spot. You can do that by using Xeum right here, or, which is the easier way in my opinion, go through MetaMask and then connect your wallet and pay the $15. But you don't really pay those $15 because if you buy one of those NFTs, these will be refunded to you. Besides this, you get a lot of benefits. One of which is that the price gets reduced from 555 XRP to 222, which is quite a significant amount in my opinion. But obviously it's not just the price reduction you will get. You will get a huge amount of stuff split in two phases. One of which is before the game launch and the second will be after the game launch. And obviously, since there are quite a lot of benefits that you will get for buying those NFTs, I will not read them out for you. If you want to check them out for yourself, just pause the video or go on their website, which will be provided obviously in the description of this video. And now let's take a quick look at their Twitter to check out what this project is all about. As I told you before, Scarspeed is going to be a more or less realistic skill-based car racing game, with obviously the objective being to win the race by using power-ups to get, more speed, or maybe even punish your enemies. And how all of this is going to work exactly, I will show you in a couple of seconds on their website. But before we go and take a look at that, let's take a look at their first NFT drop, which will be the relics. Each of those NFTs will give you access to perks and utilities within the Scarspeed ecosystem. And some of those utilities you'll get by owning one of those relics are, for example, a car factory pre-built, early access to their mobile app, and one of the most important things in my opinion is to be a part of the weekly draw they will do in the future. Which means that you can get free stuff, and you know my opinion, free stuff is always the best stuff. And if this project already tickles your pickle, you might follow them on Twitter and join their Discord, because as always these two are the best place to stay up to date with each and every project, because they might start giving whitelist spots away pretty soon. And now, after this pretty long introduction, let's take a look at their website. So as you can see, the gameplay in general is split into 4 sections. First of all, the gameplay, which is also divided into 4 subcategories, which are first of all the ultimate battle racing, gameplay first approach, skill-based competitive gameplay, and the geared for esports. And since this is a pretty complex project, I will not explain each and every subtopic, because at the end of the day you are probably able to read, and these are just summaries of the things you can read in the white paper if you are really interested in this project. But if you want to read through this, go ahead and pause the video. Next up we got the world, which is an open world with a weather climate system, a day and night cycle, and special events. And in my opinion, because I recently played Forza 5, which has all those 4 elements too, you might think you are a good driver, but if you are driving your, 1500 horsepower McLaren P1 and it's a rainy night, it gets horrendous. Which in my opinion is a pretty nice addition to a game, because this gives a lot of versatility and opens up the skill cap even further. Next up we got the power-ups, which they are offensive power-ups, so probably like a red or blue Cooper, defensive power-ups like bananas or a shield, and utility power-ups like, for example, the red or golden mushroom you get in Mario Kart. But all of those obviously in a more serious way, because we are looking at a proper car racing game and not something from Nintendo. And lastly we got the blockchain. First of all, obviously we got the NFTs, which means you have true ownership of your car, maybe your driver or even racing tracks we'll see in the near future. And obviously some of those cars might be limited, meaning that obviously the rarest car will be the most expensive car, probably. Meaning that you could own your own car collection for a fraction of the price it would cost you to even buy one car in real life, because some of those get really expensive. And as I said before, the team behind this project has ambitions. The perfect example for this is probably that they have chosen the Unreal 5 engine to develop this game, which is the key to create a AAA game title with impressive visuals, special effects and realistic graphics. And not only that, this will also lead to probably the best racing experience you can get from a game in general. And to make this game even more attractive, they had the idea to create the mobile companion app, which will give you the possibility to buy new cars, customize your own cars, and obviously if you want to, you can also socialize if you are one of those people. And I can already imagine myself sitting in a lecture, like being physically there but not listening, and creating or customizing my new cars. And some examples of those cars you can see below. First of all, we got the common one, then the uncommon, the rare, the epic, and last but not least, the legendary. And obviously you might see some similarities with real cars. This one, for example, looks like a McLaren, which is a beautiful car, so why would you change it? Just take inspiration from things that already exist, because that's the way it's always been done. But personally, I wouldn't go with that color. And now let's take a look at the roadmap. In the roadmap you can see that they already achieved a couple of things, because Q3 2022 is already behind us and they did everything they listed right here, and Q4 2022 is right now, and the only thing missing right now is the Relics NFT drop. The most important things are in Q1 2023 and in Q2 2023, which are, in my opinion at least, the Scarspeed Studio and the NFT Marketplace launch, followed by the second Scarspeed Studio launch, and the probably most important thing is the PC game. In the second half of 2023, they also plan to do community events, which is always a fun thing to be a part of. And in the first half of 2024, they are planning to expand into the console versions, which in my opinion sounds pretty complicated, because I really don't know how all of this will work on a console like a PS5 or Xbox One. But we might see this in the pretty near future, because 2022 is almost over, meaning that 2024 isn't that far away. And below the roadmap you can find some brands Scarspeed already did had collaborations with, and below that you can find the FAQ, in which you can quick check for some important questions you might ask yourself right now. Like, what is Scarspeed? And I will not read this for you, because as I said before, you can probably read yourself, and if you need more time, just pause the video. The last thing on this website I want to show you is the team behind the project, because we both know that the team behind the project is what you are buying in. You are not buying the picture, you are buying into the team behind this project. And here are a few members of the team. Each and every one of those peeps has a LinkedIn, which you can visit and read out for yourself what they did in the past and what they are doing right now. And if you're interested in joining the project, not just by buying into it, but also being a part of the building process, you can apply to them, which is something I just saw recently. And now lastly, to finish this up, let's take a look at the white paper. And at least for my opinion, the most important part of a car racing game is the car. And the way Scarspeed balanced this is that each and every car will have 5 core stats, being acceleration, speed, drift, handling and durability. And the fun thing about that is that you are going to need to have a balance for acceleration, speed, which are probably the main things you have in a normal racing game, and durability, because at the end of the day this will be a battling game as well. And if you are interested in how all of this will work, I would recommend you to read through this white paper. And to be honest, this white paper is probably one of the best I've seen, because it's pretty hard to find a project with a structure like this, especially in the white paper, which makes my inner monk really happy. Which sadly brings us to the end of this video, in which I once more want to remind you that this is no financial advice, and you should, as always, do your own research with the links provided in the description down below. And one additional thing is that I would recommend you to follow them on Twitter and go into their Discord, because these are the single best ways to stay up to date with not just this, but each and every project. And with that said, have a nice rest of your day and see you in the next video. Quickly.